Some of these catfishes are like they're really obvious. Like if you can't tell that if you're a 2, right, and a 10 starts talking to you for no particular reason whatsoever, I don't know. I think you got to have like a little bit of self-awareness. I think you got to go, well, I mean, there is that occasional odd couple where it's like, wow.
There's those movies too, where like the
they're movies.
Good-looking girl falls for like the dorky kind of guy, or reverse, and so gives people hope.
It's a movie. It's pretend, right? In the real world, if you're living in Sheboygan, Wisconsin, right, and you've been doing nothing but playing video games in your parents' basement since you were 18, and now you're 37 years old without any identifiable future whatsoever.
Yeah.
And your hands are stained of Dorito cheese.
Right. And then someone starts asking for money.
That's right. Well, yeah. And then, I don't know, Jennifer Aniston dials you up on the Instagram and says, man, you're the man I've been waiting for, right? I mean, you have to have a little self-awareness.
Right.
If you're
a little skepticism.
If you're a 2 looking for a 10, or if you're a 2 that gets contacted by a 10, the very first thing you do is you fucking FaceTime. That's the first thing that you do.
Right.
You FaceTime. Yeah. That's what you do. Speaking of FaceTime, what do we I'm not even going to get into it. We're having all kind of studio issues. Okay, ready?
Yes.
Enter relationships with a neutral amount of trust rather than an undeserved lack of trust or unproven confidence. Let people show you who they are. Yeah. I think this is a big one. I know I have friends and acquaintances, and I'm sure I've approached relationships in this way at times also, is that you take all of your baggage from the last one and you send it right into the future.
Pain and scars. And
Yes, you
dump it on their doorstep.
You take your baggage, and at the connecting flight, you send it ahead of you, right? And it's waiting for you at the next destination. It's so bad.
Yeah.
I mean, okay.
Yeah.
The one asshole cheated on you. I get it. It was a bad experience. I know it can be extremely painful and hurtful. I've been cheated on too.
Yeah,
but you take that through, carry that through every single relationship moving forward.
You got to have kind of a clean slate.
Yeah. Well, you're unlikely to have an actual meaningful relationship because everyone's going to be like, well, why am I getting the bullshit? It was that dude who cheated on you, right?
I'm a true, honest person.
Be friends with your partner.
Yes, that's good.
If you can't be yourself around them, the relationship probably isn't meant to be.
Right.
True story. I have dated people that I would not be friends with. I have dated people that I don't find.
Right, because you were dating those girls, and meanwhile we were best friends, but you weren't really wanting to hang out with them.
No, I had no interest in hanging out with them.
Other than the date.
I was more interested in hanging out with you. I was like, I'm going to go hang out with Hode.
Right. We'll meet up later. Midnight.
Yeah, come on over to the house. Keys under the mat.
Right.
Those were
it's
good
hard
days,
to do, though. I think it's human nature that you want to kind of, you want to be trusting, but then also something could be a trigger. And then you're like, you are the same as that.
Yeah, it's hard.
So it is hard.
It's hard. It's hard when you have like when you have a lot of stuff that comes with you from past relationships. It's hard to shake that. And it's also hard not to project that into the next relationship. And that's why therapy. That's why therapy.
BetterHelp.com.
On the first date, if they want to meet in public and drive themselves, be okay. Be okay with that. Of course, be okay with that. Who's not okay with that?
I know. I don't want some creeper knowing where I live.
Hey, Hoadley, what's going on? It's me, Bryan. So I'm really excited about our first date. I'm going to have someone pick you up and bring you back to my house. And then from there, we're going to walk to a special date I have planned in a dark park. In an undisclosed location. If you could leave your phone at your house, I would appreciate it. Don't worry about your purse. You don't need any identifications. Can you cut your fingertips off? Can you take your teeth out? Cool, see you there.
Yeah.
You cut your fingertips off for me.
At least burn them.
Could you burn your fingertips?
Come on the stove.
Burn your fingertips and shave off your teeth. I would appreciate it. No, don't worry about it. Just before our first date, before 8 o'clock.
Right.
Real quick. I'm going to send over a dentist to make some impressions. It's just a thing I do. Don't worry about it. Who's not okay with the date driving themselves?
Yeah.
What is that all about? I actually think it would be on a first date, like certainly on a blind
It's
date.
preferable.
It would be weird. I mean, I don't know if it's weird, but I wouldn't offer, maybe I would offer, but I certainly would never expect that someone would actually take me up on the offer that let me pick you up, because then you are fucking stuck. I mean, there's Uber these days, right?
Yes.
But you're kind of stuck. It's like you have a sense of obligation to the fact that you just drove here with somebody. And so
Plus, they know where you live, so there's that.
that is I didn't think about that one.
Yeah.
I was watching the Love Connection. I really wanted to put a Love Connection clip in here.
Oh, I love that show.
I was watching the Love Connection. I love that show. For those of you that don't know, Love Connection was a show back in the 80s. They would send two people out on a blind date. The two people would come back and report on the blind date on a couch with a guy named Chuck Woolery. There's a lot of other details to the show, but I won't get into them.
2 and 2.
We'll be back in 2 and 2. That was his famous thing. And what went on most of the time was that one or the other person would end up showing up at the other person's house
Yep.
to meet for the date. And on many occasions, like in between dinner and a movie or wherever
Things
they were
go
going.
south.
Well, things go south, and then they're stuck with each other basically for
Exactly.
the rest of the evening. What amazes me is the ease at which people felt like it was okay to just invite someone else over to their house, even though they have really no clue who they are. I mean, yes, they've been vetted by a television production company, but that doesn't say anything. The Bachelorette was vetted. I mean, those people are vetted by and there's all kind of craziness. You don't know who someone really is.
Yeah.
The other thing that amazes me is how many of these dates, they would go back to the house, like it would be a whole day date, right? They
They
plan
would
a
like
whole
go
day.
to the beach
Yeah.
and stuff. A lot of them
Let's
would
go to the beach. Then we're going to the gardens.
Let
then
me
I'm
get
gonna
you
take
into a
it- yeah,
bikini and
yeah.
see what we're working with here.
We're going to go sailing in the morning. We're going to go to the beach in the afternoon, the botanical gardens at
Champagne
night.
dinner.
Yeah, they had a whole thing planned. It's like now, it's like meet me at the bar for a beer.
Right.
I'll know in 5 seconds whether or not we're having sex later. So if they were going on one of these day dates, they would oftentimes end up back at that person's house to change and shower and do whatever.
Right.
The incredible naivete of these people. I'm surprised there was never like the Love Connection murders or something.
It might
I
need to do a
really
show on
am.
that.
I know. I found some creepy ones. Maybe we'll do a whole show on it about the Love Connection, because almost all of those are out there on YouTube somewhere.
Yeah.
And some of them are just just so creepy. The
they're
guys
very,
especially, they're so
very.
creepy sometimes. You should always be straightforward about seeing other people and being sexually active with other people. Withholding that information and prevents what kind of relationship you are really looking for. I can agree with
That's
this one.
true.
You should definitely let them know. Within the first 3 months, you should let them know at some point how many other people you're dating.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
It is common courtesy.
Yeah. How many, what's the most amount of people you've dated in one particular sitting?
One sitting.
I mean, at the same time.
One night.
In one, yeah. How many people have you dated in one night? What's your
Oh,
max?
you mean like at the same time over a course of a few months?
over at the
Maybe a
same in the
couple,
same general
maybe.
time? Two?
I liked,
Yeah?
I liked kind of keeping it focused and then moving on if it wasn't right.
I am nothing if I am not focused.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think four might be
Okay.
like four, but
Juggling.
one of them loosely, like
Right.
I knew
Talking.
nothing was there. Yeah.
We were talking.
Yeah. Talking with our mouths together. Talking with our mouths straight together. But at some point it just got, you can't do
too
that.
much.
No, you
Yeah.
can't do that. I think most of the time in my life, it's only been one person, but there have been times when it's been multiple, but it just gets too much to remember.
It is.
And then, you're always really liking someone more than you're liking the other
Of
people.
course.
Always. It's never like, I really like these two women, exactly the same. There's always someone that's beating it out. It's like having children. They say you never have a favorite, but the truth is you probably always have a favorite, at least moment to moment. You should always be putting in equal effort, even if it's casual. If they want to call, text, and hang out with you, they would make it happen. Even if you're just casually hooking up with someone, mutual respect and communication should still be the foundation, or things can go downhill real fast. Dating is supposed to be fun. You shouldn't feel like shit. Well, there you go. There's some words of wisdom right there.
Communication is key.
Communication
I
is
have to say that.
key. Yeah, nothing is worse, in my opinion. Nothing is worse than dating someone and quickly figuring out that they are way more into you than you are to them.
Yeah, that's tough.
That is a tough one.
It is
right?
tough.
Because I've done this a couple
Feelings are gonna
times.
be hurt.
Yeah,
You
feelings are
know
always
that's
hurt.
coming.
It's always coming. There's a lot of wishful thinking going on.
Right.
There's a lot of over communication,
Yes.
and then you get
They're introducing you to their parents. I've had that happen a couple of times.
they
and I
introduce
was
you to
like,
their parents quickly.
Yes.
Like well, how many dates?
Like maybe 4 or 5.
What's the appropriate amount of dates before you should be introduced to a parent?
I mean, I guess more than that.
I think 6
A lot.
months. Yeah, I think months.
Yeah,
I mean
months.
Yeah, this shouldn't be a decision that's taken lightly.
Right.
You don't want to introducing someone to your parents indicates that
Because
something.
that's a whole thing.
That's a whole ball of wax.
Yeah.
Now you got your parents involved in the
Yeah.
relationship. Now their opinions
They're
are matter.
like, "Good
Yeah.
job."
Yeah, they're like, good job. Or who is that guy, Bryan?
Then their opinion is kind of put in.
He said he would pay the bill and then he left. He ordered a 1934 Chateau Marmont and said, hey, Dad, you got this one?
Cool.
Your daughter likes me a lot more than I like her. So you got to step up to the plate. Show me what you're working with, Dad. I couldn't be persuaded otherwise.
Yes.
Hey, Dad, you still got those tickets to the Masters you were talking about 5 minutes ago? Because if that's the case.
I'll take those, and I've got a friend who wants the other one.
Yeah, listen, I got to be honest with you. I'm dating 4 other women. 3 of them I like a whole lot more than I like your daughter.
Right,
but she said, my dad's rich, come to this dinner. And I thought to myself, well, I might as well go meet them and see if the money will persuade me otherwise. Let's be honest, Dad. Let's cut to the bullshit. How much to marry your daughter? How much money? Oh, and I've been there too. I've been on the other side of that coin too. I've liked someone way more than but I think, I mean, I don't know. I'm not omnipotent. I'm sure at the time I really wanted her to like me a lot more.
Yes.
But I think I do have a little bit of self-awareness. Like I pick up on signals pretty quickly.
You can.
It was just in my heart that I felt that. Or,
Right.
Wherever. And
You're like, something could really happen here.
something could pop.
And then,
Never did. Months and
The
months and
key is
months
to
later.
not keep pursuing it.
The key is to not grovel.
Right. Correct.
The key is to not beg for a second date. That's the key. Please. Does your dad have a private plane? Because I could be persuaded to go on a second date with you, but you're paying and your dad's flying me to Colorado tomorrow. Call him. I want confirmation. CC me on a text.
Yes.
I remember I dated a young lady. I think you know the person, and it was just it was too one-sided, right? It was too one-sided, and I think that weared on my ability to see clearly about what was going on with the relationship. Because when you're not feeling it 100%, you're not feeling it 100%, and then if someone is feeling it 150%, it just kind of feels weird, right? It's a whole.
It does.
Now it's a whole circumstance.
And then they're just always kind of there. Or calling, or
bothering,
and
showing up at your house at 3 a.m, sending unsolicited text messages of nasty nature. Okay, here's number 9. Sexual boundaries need to be set. I understand it can be uncomfortable for some people, but it greatly improves sex lives and relationships. Say what you're comfortable with and what's a no for you. And also let them know what you might be willing to try out.
Sure.
Yeah.
That sounds reasonable.
You want to bring a man into the bed?
Yeah.
Cuckolding, cool with me, no problem.
Yeah. Whatever you're into.
Yeah, that's right.
You kind of throw it out there. See what sticks.
I'm into watching 90 Day Fiancé while we make love. What do you think about that? Is that a hard no for you or is that a maybe? You're willing to give it a try?
Yeah.
Makes the experience much better for me. I'm just saying. I can do 2 things at once. Don't you worry. I'll prove it to you.
Oh my God.
Oh. Wait, bringing the other guy you're dating into bed?
Maybe.
Is your dad rich?
Private plane?
Does your dad still have those Masters tickets? Maybe. Plan for the first date to be short and sweet. I couldn't agree with this one more. An hour is a good amount of time for a meeting. That way, if neither of you is feeling the vibe, the date is over. It comes to a natural conclusion. If you hit it off, plan a second date soon or keep the first one going.
Keep it going.
Keep it going.
Yeah.
Keep it rolling through.
Yes.
I've been on dates that lasted through marriage. I went on a date one time. She still hasn't left my house. No, I'm with this. But how do you communicate that clearly? I'm not really sure.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm on an hour time limit.
Yeah,
where,
I don't know. I have surgery at 9:30.
Yeah.
I have to report to the hospital for surgery at 9:30.
Maybe we just meet for a drink and an appetizer.
Yeah, because I mean, I can already hear some of my friends who I know are single. I can already hear what they would be saying, right? It'd be like if the girl was like, "Hey, listen, I can meet you at 8, but I got to be gone by 9."
Right.
They would be like, "Oh, just another night. Let's do it another night.
Yeah,
we have
exactly.
more time," right? And then what do you say to that? Like, I don't have any more time. I think at that time you just have to be clear. Listen, I plan my dates for an hour. We'll see what's going on after an hour.
Yeah.
It's a check-in. At 60 minutes, if I don't like you, I'm going to get up at the table and leave. You're going to pay the bill, and that's going to be a night. I'm ghosting you ahead of time. I'm letting you know that this could potentially happen. If you're not down with it, cool. Let's just not go on the first date.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I can hear, I can hear one person in particular in my head when we're talking about all of this. I think you know who I'm talking about. But I can hear him saying, oh, don't worry about it. Let's go out another night.
Right.
What about
whenever
Thursday
you got more
night?
time.
Yeah.
Or I might even take it as kind of a slight. Like, if some guy I was dating said, or had not dated yet, but it's the first date, and he says, "Look, I got an hour.
Yeah.
Let's go."
Yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, it's a good rule, but how do you practically put that one into play?
I got an hour for you. I got you at 8. I got another girl at 9:30. So let's just hurry this up.
I've never been ghosted during a date per se, but I have on one occasion, I had a girl that got a cell phone call all of a sudden, and then she had to go.
Yeah.
Right? And so
That
I
was
took
her
the
friend
hint.
calling.
Yeah, that was her friend calling. Yeah. But I think I had you text me a couple times too. I was like, all right, text me in an hour. And I'd be like, it's my mom. She can't figure out what channel Judge Judy's on. It's the whole thing. I got to let you go.
I gotta go.
But we just got here. We haven't even gotten our first drink. I know, babe.
Head waiter.
Yeah, head waiter. We ordered 2 Bud Lights. She's going to take both of them, and you'll pay for them, right? You're going to drink them? I'm out of here. I'll see you later. I got to go. My mom. It's the whole thing. Emergency. Don't ever make assumptions about contraception and protection. However consenting adults want to approach it is their business, but don't assume anyone is getting tested regularly on the pill, etc. Have that conversation beforehand.
True.
I mean, listen, since we were in the prime of our dating lives,
Prime of our
3 years ago.
Yeah.
The prime of our lives makes me sound like
Now they're in the depths of despair.
Back in 1922, when I was on the front side of the roller coaster hill.
Upside of the mountain.
That's right. Back when I was in the sunrise of my life in the 30s. Women used to put makeup on. Now they show up in flannel pajamas. I don't get it. There's another one. Don't show up in your pajamas.
Yes.
Yeah. I think, this, it's always been a concern. There's never a time in history when it's not been a concern, contraception. Back in the Stone Age, people, women would die frequently after having a baby, or the baby would die. There's just a whole bunch of reasons why it makes sense. And this is a conversation that you should have, I agree, a long time before it happens. So when you're planning out that date for an hour, I'd come in the first 15 minutes and I'd just go right for it. I'd be like, so
here's a list.
You got a
Here's
rubber?
a list of things. Or carry one yourself if you're a girl. Be prepared.
Yes, that's right. You know what? This brings up a good segue to something that I also want to talk about inside of this conversation. There's a girl on TikTok. Her name is Eve. Have you seen this TikTok video by Eve? There's a TikTok video going around by a girl named Eve.
I watch cooking tutorials on TikTok.
Just don't ask me what I'm looking at all day long. 35 million views. 35 million views on a video where this girl, Eve, is explaining to, I think mainly women, that you should have sex on the first date without any doubt. Just go ahead and get it done with. Yeah, she's like saying...
It's a little aggressive.
It is... I'm not sure I agree with the sentiment altogether. I guess she had one bad experience. She dated a guy for 3 months, and then they finally had sex, and then some weird stuff happened, and she wasn't into it. I don't want to get into all the nitty-gritties because we're here on Fireside, but the reality is she was telling people, just go ahead and get it over with. You should know right away.
Okay.
Know right away whether you had that compatibility and whether your interests in that manner are compatible,
Jeez.
just get it out of the way, right?
But the first date can also be like the first time with somebody is also going to be maybe awkward. And, it could help to get to know somebody.
In my case, the 200th time is awkward. I mean, I've been awkward the whole time. Yeah, nothing's going to take this
go
awkwardness
ahead.
away.
I got an hour. You got a rubber. Let's go.
I've often told women I date.
TikTok told me to do it.
If you're into awkward sex, I'm the guy for you.
You got to know when I'm working.
If you're into a lot
real.
of stopping and starting and...
I got 90 Day Fiance starts in 20 minutes.
I also put an hour limit on awkward sex. I'm just letting you know that. So I'm into it. Contraception, super important. Keep it clean.
Yes.
Be honest when something isn't working for you. No matter how early or how late it is in the relationship, saying how you feel directly is always the best
Very true.
policy.
Things
Agreed.
can fester otherwise. You're like, that bothers me. I don't really want to, but
I know.
they're into it, and maybe, but it bothers you.
I have some advice for the kids. This is my advice for the kids.
Uncle
the kids
Bryan.
on TikTok. Yeah, Uncle Brian. Uncle Brian coming to you
Uncle Bryan.
live from the commercial break. Uncle Brian. Such a creepy name. But many years ago, some of my friends gave me the term Uncle Brian. I don't know why. There were no, I don't have children. They didn't have children, but they just started calling me Uncle Brian for whatever reason. I think it was the Venezuelans that started this. They started calling me Uncle Brian. But as over the last 3 years, I've requested that people please stop calling me that because I think it sounds strange. Hey, Uncle Brian. There's a few people who still call me. That's a term of endearment.
It is.
Anyway, I have some advice for the kids. Uncle Brian has some advice for the kids. Don't ghost people. It's not appropriate. And it's not a way you're going to have to at some point
have that conversation.
If you're going to have an active sex or dating life, you're going to at some point have to have uncomfortable conversations. Might as well get some practice with it, right? Number one. Number two, I guarantee no matter how pissed or mad or upset you think someone's going to be, they're going to be doubly mad, pissed, and upset and hurt if you don't say anything to them ever again.
Even if you have to say it's not you, it's me. Just do it.
Listen,
say it. Have a great life. You're a great person.
You can
it's
be
just not working.
truthful without being hurtful.
Yeah, you can do it quickly too. But some response is better than no.
Listen,
response.
I am proof you can do it quickly, in the bed and outside the bed. Here's the thing. And if you're in the middle of a date, certainly don't ghost somebody. Here's what you do. You get Krissy or your best friend to call you, and you excuse yourself because of if you're in some kind of like dangerous situation, you tell the bartender, obviously. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about a bad date, just a weird date, just an awkward date, right? You just go up to him and you say the following words. I forgot to press record on my 90 Day Fiance. I'm going to have to let you go. Yeah. That's it. That's all you need to say.
Right.
Listen. I know that dating is complicated and it's full of landmines and there's a lot of stuff that people have to remember and things you got to work through. By the way, I have reams and reams of this material. Like we can probably make another episode about this because it just goes on and on forever. People with dating advice. I feel sorry.
There's not one thing that fits all for everybody. If there were, everybody would be getting married and finding their correct person for the rest of their lives.
Yeah, I mean, the dating is just one of those shit shows we all have to go through.
Out there, there's a lot of fish.
It's not the motion of it's not the motion of the ocean. It's the potion in the lotion. What's the old saying? It's not the way the boat rocks. It's the
lotion.
way
I don't think lotion is involved.
I thought it was the motion of the lotion. I thought it was not it's not the ocean in the motion. It's the potion of the lotion. I'm not sure. I don't know. Don't take advice from me.
It's a big world out there is what I'm saying.
I just turned the music on you. Sorry. Go ahead.
It's a big world out there. Each to their own.
Okay, this date is over. Thanks, Krissy. I gotta go. It's been an hour. Talk to you later. It's a big world out there. No, you're right. It's a big world out there. Your person's out there.
It is. Your person is out there. Man, woman, it, whatever, he, she, them, whoever. It's out there.
By definition.
Just be kind to people.
By definition, 99.9% of all of the dating that you will do in your life will not work out. Mm-hmm. It's just that small percentage that does work out and ends up being something long-term and magical. Everything can be magical, but if you're talking about marriage or a long-term committed relationship or partnership or courtship or whatever it is, that doesn't come around very often. So just have fun with the dating.
Don't feel uncomfortable in your singledom either.
No. Wear
have
deodorant.
fun with your friends.
Wear deodorant.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say. Wear deodorant.
Yes.
You know who I'm talking to. You know what I'm talking about. Okay.
Tons of makeup.
Listen, We've been live on Fireside. Thank you, Fireside, for joining us.
Yes.
Or thank you, Fireside, for having us.
Right.
Krissy, I don't know how much more I can do today.
I think that's it.
I
Brian.
love you.
I love you.
Best to you.
Best to you.
Best to you out there in the podcast universe and Fireside. Until next time, Krissy and I must bid you adieu, and we always say, bye.
The Commercial Break. New episodes on Tuesdays and now Fridays. New YouTube clips drop daily at youtube.com/The Commercial Break. Visit tcbpodcast.com for access to our entire media library. Follow us at The Commercial Break on Instagram. Each episode is written and produced by Brian Green, co-hosted by Krissy Hoadley, with additional content provided by Tina Conrad.